Hey there and welcome. Today we are going to break down one of the biggest adventures you can go on, buying a home. I know it can feel like a huge, complicated thing, but honestly, with the right map, it's a journey you can totally navigate. So we're going to walk through a 10-step roadmap that'll take you from just dreaming about a house to actually holding the keys. Let's dive in.
You know that picture in your head, right? The perfect house, the one you can finally call your own? That's the dream. But how do you turn that picture into a real-life set of keys in your hand? Well, there's a process, a clear, step-by-step path. So let's figure out how you get from just dreaming to actually owning.
All right, first things first. Before you even open an app or start scrolling through listings, the most important work has to happen. This whole first phase is all about laying a super solid foundation. And trust me, getting this part right makes everything else that follows go so much smoother. And that brings us to step one. And this is a big one. Don't try to do this alone. Your very first call should be to a real estate professional. Seriously, think of them as your guide for this whole adventure. Their job is to really get what you're looking for and, crucially, connect you with the right people, starting with a fantastic lender.
This is exactly why that expert is so important. When you see logos like these, it's not just branding. It's a signal, a sign that you're working with people who are committed to a professional code of ethics and to fair housing. It's really about having a trusted advisor, someone who's in your corner the whole time.
Now, that connection to a lender leads right into step two, getting pre-approved. And listen, this isn't just some casual ballpark estimate. A pre-approval, like it says here, is a real conditional commitment from a lender for a specific loan amount. This is what officially sets your budget. But more than that, it shows sellers you are a serious, legit buyer, and that gives any offer you make way more power.
Okay, so you've got your financing all lined up. Now the adventure really kicks off. This is step three, the part everybody gets so excited about. It's time for the hunt.
So let's just quickly recap how this first chunk flows together, right? You connect with an expert, you get your money in order with that pre-approval, and bam, that unlocks your ability to really start hunting for a home, and eventually to make an offer.
Now, to make that hunt as efficient as possible, you've got to get super clear on your priorities before you start looking. You need to separate your needs, your absolute must-haves, like a certain number of bedrooms, from your wants, the nice-to-haves. And just as important, you need to know your deal breakers. What's an absolute no way? This focus is what keeps you from wasting a ton of time on the wrong places.
So you find it, the one. Now it's time for step four, making an offer. This is where your agent's expertise really comes into play, as you work together to figure out a fair price and terms. And once you put it in writing, man, that's when the dream starts to feel very real.
Your offer was accepted. That is amazing. So now we enter a new phase. It's less about searching and way more about securing the deal. This is where we handle all the critical, nitty-gritty details that turn an accepted offer into a done deal.
This brings us to step five, due diligence. It sounds super formal, I know, but it's really just your key protection period. And as you can see on this little timeline, an appraisal gets ordered to make sure the home is worth what you're paying, inspections happen to check its condition, and then your agent helps you negotiate any repairs. It is all about making sure you know exactly what you are buying. And while all that due diligence is happening, you'll be taking care of step six, getting homeowners insurance. This is not optional, folks. Your home is a massive investment, and this policy is what protects it and you right from day one.
We are so close. You can almost feel the keys in your hand right now. This final phase is a short but incredibly important countdown to closing day. Let's walk through these last few steps.
Step 7 is all about the number 3. By law, you have to receive your final closing disclosure statement at least 3 business days before you close. This is a huge consumer protection rule. It gives you time to review every single number, your loan terms, your rate, the fees, everything, so that there are absolutely zero surprises when you sit down at that table.
Next up is step 8, and this usually happens just one day before closing. It's the final walkthrough. And this is not just a formality. This is your last chance to go through the property and make sure it's in the condition you agreed to, that any repairs got done, and that no new problems have popped up.
And then we hit zero. This is step 9. This is closing day. You'll head to a title company or an attorney's office for the big meeting. This is where you sign what feels like a mountain of paperwork, the lender's money gets sent to the seller, and the deed to the property is officially recorded in your name.
Which brings us to the final and, let's be honest, the best step of all. Step 10. You did it. You navigated the whole roadmap, you signed on the dotted line, and that home is officially yours. Congratulations, homeowner. It is absolute time to pop some bubbly and celebrate this incredible milestone.
So there you have it, a 10-step roadmap that takes you from dream to reality. Of course, every single person's journey is going to have its own little twists and turns, but this is the path. So it leaves me with one last question for you. Looking at this map, what's the one step that gets you the most excited or, maybe a little bit nervous? Something to think about as you start your own adventure.